Hello and welcome. I'm Raghav, and today we are going to create a sample login test, and you can follow along with me and you can do hands-on. So we are going to create a demo login test, and the applications I'm going to use is I will first go to this link demo.applitools.com, and here we will do login on this page. Then I will show you a login test on this link, that is Orange HRM live application, and we will do login on this page. And then I will also show you login on this demo application, that is nopecommerce.com login page. So we will see different login pages and how do we do login test. So let's get started. I will go to my VS Code and my project is already open here. I will go to the tests folder here and I will create a new file and I will call it as login_demo.spec.js. You can name it anything. And the first thing I have to do on this file is I will first import the test and expect libraries from Playwright package. And now I will create a test. So I will say test and I will give the title of the test. I will say demo login test 1. And then I will create a async function that will be an anonymous function. So I will give this arrow symbol and a curly bracket start and stop. And I will take this stop brackets to the next line. And also we have to pass the page fixture here in the async function. So I will pass the page fixture. And now using page, I can say, I will say await page dot go to. So this is the first statement, the first command. We have to go to the page. So I will first go to this page and I will have all the links of all these demo websites and all the notes in the description section of this video. So we are going to this page demo.applitools.com. Now in the last session, in the earlier session, we have seen how to find objects, how to create locators. So if I want, I can go and do a right click here manually on this username page, username box, and say inspect, and it will take me to the document object model or the backend of this page. And here I can see all the options or all the properties. So we have ID of this page. So ID is username. Then we have class property. Then we have placeholder property that says enter your username. Then I have type property. So I have so many, we have so many properties here, and we can create a locator as we have learned in the earlier session. But because we are using an automation tool, we should use the features, we should use the option of the tool to create the locators for us or to give us the object selectors. So for that, what I'm going to do is I want to open the Playwright inspector, and from the Playwright inspector window, I want to explore and find the object locators or the object selectors. So for that, I will just add the command to pause. So I will say await page.pause. And in Playwright, when I say page.pause, the execution will pause here and it will open the Playwright inspector window. And from there, we can either record or we can explore and find the objects. We have also learned earlier how to record a test, and you can also use that way. But for now, let us do this way. And here, to run this, I will say I will go to the terminal and I will say npx playwright test, and I want to run this specific file. So I will go to the tests folder, and I just want to run this specific file, that is login_demo.spec.js. And then I also want to run it in a headed mode and only on a single browser. So I will say -- project Chromium. Now you can also set the browsers in the config file, but as of now we are just setting it on the from the command. So it will only run on Chrome browser, and I am saying -- headed so that we can see the execution on a physical browser. And I'm now running it. So let's see, it should start the execution. Yes, it is starting on Chrome browser. And you can see as it encountered the pause statement, it has paused the execution and it has opened the Playwright Inspector window for us. And now in this Playwright Inspector window, you can either record and then copy the recorded script, or I can just go here and click on this Explore button. And now if I take my cursor, I take my pointer anywhere on the screen, it is finding all these objects, and you can see it is also giving us the locators. So if I click on this object on this username box, it copies the locator or the selector here, and I can copy it from here. I can manually copy or just click on this copy button. Here is the copy button. And then I will go to my code, and then here I will say await page.locator. We have learned how to use locators in the earlier session. So I will just copy and paste this locator. And then here I have to fill the username. So I will say fill, and this is a demo website. I can use any username. So I'll just say Raghav. And then again, I have to add the command to fill password. So I will say page.locator, and I will get the password locator here. And then again, I will say dot fill, and I will use some dummy password here. So I have to find the locator for password box as well. So let us go and again go to explore and click on the password text box, and then copy the password selector or locator and set it here, paste it here. And then finally we have to click on the login button. So I will say page.locator, and again I will add the locator here, and then I will say dot click. If you do not get this auto suggestion box, you can always press Control plus space on your keyboard. And here I will again go to the Playwright Inspector and get the locator for the sign in button. And I will copy this and paste it here. And that's it. So this completes the login steps. So let us run and check. And I will close this Playwright Inspector window, and then I will again run the command. And I'm keeping the page.pause as it is here so that we can see the execution step by step, and we can do it step by step. So I will run the command again, and this should start our execution. And yes, it is running, and it has come to the pause statement, and it has paused here. So now I can use this button that says step over, or I can also press the keyboard shortcut F10. This is to resume. This will go until the end of the text and end of the test. So I will use this, and you can see it has gone to the username, enters the username, it went to the password, enters the password, and clicks on the sign in button. Now again, here if you want to explore more objects, you can do that. But for now, we will just click here, resume, and it should stop the execution. So this is how we have created this login test on this demo application. Now, if you want, you can also use these commands if you want to check if some particular object is available or not, or if you want to wait for that, you can add these assertions. However, in Playwright, there are inbuilt assertions. So even when you just use the commands fill, click, etc., at the backend, it runs all these assertions like wait for the object to be present, and the default wait time is timeout is 5 seconds. You can change this in the configuration file. So if I show you, if I take you to the playwright.config.js, this is the configuration file, and you can see here the default timeout is 5 seconds. I have changed it here just to make it just to wait only for 3 seconds, but by default it is 5, but you can change it here like I had done. I have made it 3 seconds. Also, that page load timeout is by default 30 into 1000, that is 30,000 milliseconds or 30 seconds. I have changed it to 10 seconds. So you can change it here if you want to, or for a specific object, if you want to change or overwrite the default or global timeout, you can use it like this. So you can say await page.waitForSelector and give the selector and then say timeout is this. So I can say something like, in my test, I can say something like, before clicking on this sign in link, I will say await page.waitFor, and you can see we have so many options: wait for, function, load state. I will say wait for selector, and I will give this selector here, that is for our login or sign in button, and then I will give a comma, and then I will give, so until here, until this statement, this you do not need to add explicitly, because it will anyways, Playwright will anyways run this and check if the object is available, it is visible, it is ready for action before actually doing the action. But just in case you want to change the default timeout, you can say here within curly brackets, you can say timeout, and then whatever timeout you want to change. So this is in milliseconds. 5000 milliseconds means 5 seconds. And similarly, you can also use something like expect page.locator to have count. So if you want to count how many objects are there with this particular selector, you can use this as well. And I will have all this in the description of this video. You can also copy from there. So here, now let me comment out the pause statement, and I will run this again to check everything is working fine. So it has started execution, and yes, it was very fast, and you can see everything has passed. So this is all working fine. Now let us take another application, this one, Orange HRM, and I will create one more test. I can just copy this test block so that I do not have to write everything again. And I will also copy these end brackets, and I will do a formatting, right click, format document. And I just want to run this test. So I will say test dot only. So this will only execute this test from this file. So I will say this is demo login test 2. And the first thing I have to do is go to this link. So I will say page dot go to and give this URL. And I will say await. And then again, I can say page.pause, and this will pause the execution, and I can check the objects, find the object locators, and then complete my code. So I will save and run. And because I have used test dot only here, it will only run this test. So yes, it has started, and we have also got our Playwright inspector. Now, if you want, as we have done earlier, I can explore and find this object and then copy the selector from here, then add in my code and add the actions like fill username, fill password. Here the username is admin and the password is admin123. Or the other way is I can click on record. So here I will click on record, and then you can see as I record, it will start recording. So let me also split my screen so that you can see the Playwright inspector window and the application window both side by side. So I will say admin123, click on login, and then I want to click here and then click on logout. And if I see here, you can see all this is recorded. If you want, you can just copy it from here. All these statements, all the commands you can copy from here and then paste it in your test. So let me say you can just copy this, and it should be from here, and then just paste it in your test. So this will also work. You can do like this. Let me show you one more example and some more options. So I'm creating one more test. I'll again copy this declaration of the test, and Again, I will say dot only, and I will say this is demo login test 3, and I will add the end brackets. Now here, I'm not adding any statement here. I just want to record. Now to bring up the Playwright Inspector window where we can record, there are 3 ways. Either you can directly run the code gen utility so that it will directly start recording. And we have already seen in the earlier session, how can you use code gen to record, or you can run with debug. There also we will get the recording option, or you can use pause as we have already seen here. So let me just continue with the same way. I will just say page.pause, and I have not added any statements for the test as of now. I have just added page.pause here, and I will save and run. So let me stop this execution and run it again. And this time I will go to this application, that is demo.nopcommerce.com. So it has started. You can see it has opened the browser and the Playwright Inspector, and it has not gone to any link as of yet. So let me again split my screen. I'm pressing the Windows key and the left key to split the screen and add these 2 applications. And this is just to show you the demo side by side. This is not mandatory to split your screen. And here, what I'm going to do is, now I will click on record button here, and then I will go here, go to this site. I think I did not copy this properly, the URL. Yes. And then here you can see, in this case, the email and the password, or the username and password, are already filled in. So I will either have to clear this text, whatever is there in this box, or I can just say I am clicking and pressing Control A, and then I'm adding the username, admin@yourstore.com. And if you see in the recorded actions, it has also recorded the Control A, that is selecting everything. The same thing I will do here. Control A, and the password is admin, and then click on login button. And then here I will click on log out, and I will stop the recording. And let me show you the recorded script. So this is what it has recorded. Let me just copy this all. So it should start from going to the page, that is this one, going to this page. So I will just copy this from here and then paste it in my test. Now here, if you see, it has also added some comments. So it goes to this page. Let me just do formatting. I will say right click, format document. So it goes to this page. Then it clicks on this username box, and then you can see here it has pressed Control+A to select everything, and then we fill our username. Similarly for the password also, it presses Control+A to select everything and then enters the password. And then here we click on login, and then it waits for this, then it clicks on log out, and then waits for this URL. And then here it has used context.close and browser.close. We will just be saying, because we have not used these, I will say page.close, and that's it. And let us see. I will say Control+C on the terminal to stop this process and run this again. And let us see the execution. So it has opened the browser, and this is our Playwright Inspector. And we will go to the next step. And it goes to the application, and it goes to the email box, and it has selected everything, and then fills the email, goes to the password box, selects everything by pressing Control+A, and then adds the password, and then clicks on the login button. And now here it will click on the logout button, and then it completes the test. So this is how we can do login test, and this is the example, all these examples that we have seen. So I hope you can do some more hands-on now and try to do some more login tests on some demo applications. If you have any questions, you can let me know. I will see you in the next session. Thank you for watching, and never stop learning.